So my girlfriend and I have been dating for the past 4 months. We met at work, and to keep people out of our business, we agreed not to tell anyone at our job. Well, one of those people is a close friend, 42-year-old female of mine I've known for 10 years, who actually really wanted us to date because she thought we'd be good together. I've known her in the military, as a friend, supervisor, mentor, and now coworker. She's the reason I even got hired at my current job. My girlfriend only sees her as a coworker and is completely against me telling her we're dating. On the other side, my girlfriend has a close friend, 30-year-old male. She knew in the military, and he's like a brother to her. She gets to tell him about our dating, talk about him and how supportive he is, and I feel no type of way because I trust her. But I don't get the same grace with my friend. Even mentioning her name gets my girlfriend angry and accusing me of her always being on my mind. And I should just be with her, despite the fact that my friend and I have never had any romantic feelings for each other. So this past weekend, I just wanted to be able to talk to my friend about how I'm in a happy relationship. I asked my girlfriend, and she freaked out and said she's not ready for coworkers finding out, and asked why I was thinking about her. I brought up her friend, and she said how it's different. So I dropped it and told her fine, we'll just keep leaving the people I care about out, and she asked me to give her more time. I'm just upset right now, as I feel she's controlling the relationship to make sure it favors only her needs. She is such a sweet, loving girl, and I've been really happy, and I just want to share this with my friends. Personally, I don't care if our coworkers find out, but I at least want to share it with my close friend. And what my girlfriend doesn't know is that my friend already knows we're dating, and she's happy for us while also respecting my girlfriend's wishes by keeping it to herself. But she also is becoming more offended that my girlfriend doesn't see her as someone she can trust when she's always been rooting for her. I'm in the wrong for telling my friend because I betrayed my girlfriend's trust, but I can't stand not being able to tell my close friends about my relationship. And I don't understand what's the harm in me wanting the world to know this is my girl who makes me happy. How can I convince my girlfriend to let me at least be open about telling my friend about my relationship in the same way she can with her close friend? I don't think her problem is that she's a coworker. It's that she's a woman, and she's dealt with infidelity in the past, so it's hard for her to trust. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. She is being really controlling early on in the relationship. It's understandable to want to keep this a secret, but her being able to tell others while you can't, that's a double standard. I'd tell the friend, or at least get to know her friend and see what's so different between your friend and hers. Why does he get the privilege of being spoken to about the relationship while your friend can't? Trust needs to be established here, and if she can't trust you, it's over. Comment 2. You aren't comparing apples to apples unless you left something out. You agreed not to tell coworkers. Your friend is a coworker. Her friend is not. The first checkpoint failed. You need to readdress the coworker question. When will this relationship be ready to debut in the work environment? Because like it or not, relationships at work can cause some drama, and people let things slip. Now for the update, it's been 2 days since my last post, and a lot happened at work that I didn't expect. My girlfriend and I went to this team building thing at a bowling alley. Just to be clear, it was all mandatory, and apparently the whole department was going. I was just trying to get through it, you know? So, we roll up to the alley, and I'm thinking, okay, at least I can get a few beers out of this. But then out of nowhere, my close friend from the military shows up. Like, what are the odds? It got so awkward so fast. My girlfriend froze up when she saw her and literally whispered to me to keep our distance. I can't lie, I felt super uncomfortable, but I did what she asked and just kept my distance. We were bowling, and I was just trying to act like everything was cool, just kept to myself while the rest of the team was doing their thing. So, we played games and shared snacks. The whole vibe was chill and fun at first. You know, the usual team building stuff. But then, during a break, my friend came over to say hi. She looked so happy to see me. I mean, we hadn't seen each other in a while, and she was really eager to catch up. But right when she walked over, my girlfriend suddenly excused herself, saying she needed to use the restroom. I was trying to explain to my friend that my girlfriend and I were together, but she interrupted me and said she already knew. Then, my friend asked why my girlfriend wanted to keep our relationship a secret. I just kind of shrugged it off, not wanting to stir up trouble, but honestly, I felt more uneasy about everything. After the event, my girlfriend confronted me about talking to my friend. She was pretty upset, saying I didn't respect her boundaries and acted untrustworthy. I tried to explain that all I did was talk to her, but my girlfriend was furious. Things just escalated from there, and she ended up storming out of my apartment without saying another word. The next day, I got a text from her saying she needed space. I was pretty lost, so I decided to reach out to my friend for advice and told her everything that happened. She suggested we meet up for coffee to discuss it more openly. So, we met at this local coffee shop, and I opened up to her about everything. I told her about the situation and my girlfriend's reactions. My friend expressed concern about my girlfriend's behavior and reminded me of her past struggles with trust. A few hours later, I got a text from my girlfriend asking to meet. We met at a diner, and she accused me of betrayal for talking to my friend. I explained that I was just looking for advice and never meant to hurt her. But the argument intensified, and she told me about her ex. She said he cheated on her with a mutual friend, and that's why she's so distrustful of women. I was really surprised, realizing this was a huge part of her issues. We left the diner in silence. Days went by, and there was no communication from her. I tried reaching out several times, but she didn't respond. Finally, I got a call from her, and she asked to meet again. We met at an outdoor market, and she looked really upset. She confessed that she couldn't handle the jealousy and needed to break up with me. I felt totally blindsided. I wasn't expecting it to end like this so suddenly. As we parted ways, she mentioned that she needed to focus on herself. That's it. I walked away. To answer a few questions, my girlfriend's ex was a close friend of hers and mine. They were friends before we started dating. My girlfriend ended it to work on her trust issues alone. Am I the idiot for feeling relieved when my wife leaves and questioning our marriage? We've been dating for around 4 years, living together for 2, and married a couple of months ago. We're polyamorous and date other people as well as each other. This has been the case for the whole relationship. Over the past year, I've noticed she's been more distant, and we don't do as many fun or spontaneous things as we used to. She goes on a lot of fun dates and hookups, and is spending increasing amounts of her social time with other people. Date night gets delayed or pushed aside because she's busy, or we just sit and watch television because there are no plans. We don't really have intimacy anymore, or when we do, it feels awkward and stilted. She keeps saying that she's into me, enjoys spending time with me, and enjoys being married, but that feels really disconnected from what's actually happening in our relationship. I keep hoping things will get better, and she assures me that they will, but I find it difficult to believe, considering they've been steadily declining for so long. I've not been able to date as much as I'd like to for several reasons. I work full-time and am disabled, so I have limited time and energy to socialize. We have a really small place, so it's difficult to invite people over if she's here because there wouldn't be any privacy. She also gets really jealous, and there's a seemingly endless list of what I can and can't do with people without upsetting her. The whole thing makes me anxious, and trying to explain any of it to potential dates is a nightmare. She's currently on a trip, and I've realized I don't really miss her. I have more energy. I can invite people over without having to coordinate with her. I've actually been getting through the housework. I sleep better. I can play music I like around the house, and I can focus more at work because she isn't distracting me. I've realized that despite me working full-time and her not working, I spend a lot of my time picking up after her and doing housework for both of us. Now that she's not here, there isn't random trash on the floor, there isn't a pile of dishes in the sink, and the laundry pile is going down. I feel guilty because I feel like I shouldn't be enjoying her being away so much, but at the same time, I can't deny that I just feel better when she's away. I don't really know what to do now or when she gets back. I don't want to end our relationship, but I also don't want to keep going in a relationship that makes me feel bad, especially one where I actually prefer it when she's away. Does couples counseling work? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not gonna lie, all these polyamorous and open relationships are crazy. I seriously don't see how there is a good outcome from these types of relationships. Like you are saying, she is becoming distant now. It really doesn't surprise me if there are constantly other men she is dating in her life. All it takes is for her to really like one of them, and she is gone. Wouldn't it be better to be single if you both really want to date other people? At least then it takes the pressure off your backs a little too. Especially seen as though she isn't even working too. This relationship seems very one-sided. Comment 2. I don't know about polyamory, but for perspective, you are in what Gen Z would call a situationship. This is a matter of convenience for her because she gets you with no commitment or effort and can still date or sleep with anyone else she wants while you are getting less than you actually want. I would assume, even with being poly, she should still be prioritizing and putting effort toward the relationship with the person she is actually married to first. So if you start to feel like, hey, I really like when this person is not here, they probably shouldn't be there, and that feels universal. Now for the update. I'm now back with an update. A week has passed since she got back from her trip. We went back to our routine, but things felt off. She started talking about wanting to invite friends over for game nights. I agreed, hoping it would help us. On the night of the first game night, she was busy setting up while I cleaned up after dinner. 3 friends showed up, and it was loud and chaotic. She was all over the place, leading to awkward silences. One friend talked about a recent trip they had all taken together. She laughed and made a joke, but I felt left out. After the friends left, she flopped down on the couch and turned on a show, ignoring me. The next weekend, we went to a family barbecue at her parents' place. Her parents asked when we would start a family. She made a joke about needing to get a bigger house first. During the barbecue, she got a text and stepped away to take the call. I later saw her laughing and chatting for a long time. When she came back, she said it was just a friend checking in. A few days later, I found a receipt from a restaurant in a drawer. The date on the receipt matched the day of the call at the barbecue. The name on the receipt was unfamiliar to me. I asked her about the receipt. She brushed it off, saying it was just a lunch with a colleague. She then suggested we take a weekend trip to reconnect. We booked a cabin in the woods, hoping the change of scenery would help. The drive to the cabin was filled with silence, except for the radio. Once we got there, she immediately grabbed her phone to take photos. We went for a hike, but she spent most of the time on her phone. Things got worse when I asked about her constant texting. She snapped, saying she was just checking in with friends. On the last night, I found her outside on the phone in the dark. When I confronted her, she admitted she was talking to someone she had been seeing. She said it was just casual. When we got home, she insisted on talking, but I had nothing left to say. The next morning, I packed a bag and left for a friend's place. Possible future update. I don't know what to expect next, but I'm just going to try to take care of myself for now. I'm staying with a friend for a bit, just trying to clear my head and figure out my next steps. It's been rough, like really rough, but I know I gotta do what's best for me at this point. If things get more complicated or if anything else comes up, I'll let you all know. Edit. During the week after she returned, I noticed she was often on her phone, even when we were together. I also learned from a friend that she had been on a few dates. Am I the idiot for exposing my sister's married boyfriend and ruining his life? Hey y'all, as an older sister, 25 years old, I wanted to ask for some advice on a topic concerning my sister. My sister, 18 years old, has been seeing a guy, 27 years old, for a while now. They aren't dating, but they have been hooking up constantly for over a month now. Initially, the two met at a festival and started seeing each other frequently, but then on the second or third date, I don't remember exactly, the guy told her that he's in a relationship of 6 years. He also told her that he has been really unhappy in his relationship and that he is not getting any love and affection from his partner anymore. My sister continued seeing him after he confronted her about his situation, perhaps with the hope that he might break up with his girlfriend. A little side note, our parents got divorced recently, and we have been struggling a lot mentally, which has affected all of us 3 sisters. My sister, being the second child, got neglected a lot by my parents, and especially by my dad. My dad is emotionally absent and never gave us any type of love and affection, but always tries to compensate for the damage by financially supporting us. My sister got quite damaged because of him and was left with lots of mental issues, abandonment, daddy issues, seeking constant male validation, etc. Back to the situation with the guy. So my sister kept seeing him for a while on the low. He then told her after a while that his girlfriend, who was abroad for work, was coming home soon. My sister wanted to still stay in contact even during the time he was with his girlfriend. Then the guy told my sister that he is actually married and that they just found out that she's been pregnant for 3 months. He told her that he can't leave his wife now because they're expecting a child soon. My sister, being her naive self, believed him. But I don't believe anything that guy ever said to her. How can the girlfriend only find out about being pregnant after 3 months? Did she not get any symptoms before? I honestly think the guy has been lying to my sister from the start because he also told her that he didn't get any love from his girlfriend and that they didn't even have intimacy for the last 6 months. He probably knew about the pregnancy and couldn't cope with the stress of becoming a father. So he looked for a distraction. I think in this situation, the wife needs to know about her cheating husband because she still has the chance to get him baby on a living. We live in Belgium, and here you can get him baby on a living up until 12 weeks. Should I tell my sister that she has to confront the wife about this situation? I'm afraid that the guy might hurt her, though, if she becomes a threat to him. I really don't know what to do in this situation. Any help would be appreciated. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. This is totally a situation where you tell someone you don't know that their husband is stepping out on them. Your sister doesn't have the life experience to understand that she's being sold the oldest pile of nonsense on the planet. If you're afraid for your sister's safety, do it anonymously. Plenty of people would have seen them around. Comment 2. If he's cheating on his wife with one woman, there is a good chance he is cheating with others. If she gets a sexually transmitted disease during her pregnancy, it can have really devastating effects on the fetus. It's very, very important for her to know whether she has time to abort and whether she wants to or not. Now, for the update. 2 days later, I got a text from my sister saying she was meeting up with the guy again. Like, really? She says they were meeting at this local coffee shop after her shift at the bookstore. I was like, okay, this is my chance to see what's really going on. So I decided to act all casual and just drop by the coffee shop. Can't let her know I'm worried, right? I walk in and spot her sitting at a corner table, looking all excited. Just seeing her made me feel a little better, you know? Then the guy arrives, late of course, wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses like he's some kind of celebrity trying to blend in. I mean, come on. I couldn't hear everything, but I caught them discussing plans to meet up again next weekend. My sister asks about his wife, and he just brushes it off, saying everything is fine. I couldn't believe it. She's just believing him 100%, even after everything I've told her. I left the coffee shop feeling frustrated, but I'm determined to protect her from this mess. That night, I went to our parents' house for dinner and shared my concerns with my brother. He admitted he had a bad feeling about the guy and agreed to keep an eye on her. I started doing some digging into this guy. You know, the usual social media stalker stuff. Turns out he has a public profile, and his feed is filled with pictures of him and his wife. One photo really caught my eye. It was of his wife showing off a baby bump at some family barbecue. I was like, oh hell no. I screenshotted the photo and sent it to my brother. We agreed to confront our sister together if this guy kept manipulating her. A week later, I was at the grocery store, just minding my own business, when I ran into the guy. He looked startled to see me and tried to change aisles to avoid me. Like, that's gonna work. I approached him and demanded to know how he could be so deceitful. He tried to play it cool, insisting he really cares for my sister. I warned him to stay away from her, and you know what? He smirked and said he wouldn't be going anywhere. I left the store feeling this anger boiling inside me. I couldn't just sit back and watch this happen. I decided to confront his wife. I sent her a direct message on social media. She replied, confused and defensive, asking for proof of the affair. I sent her the screenshot of the guy's profile. She responded with disbelief, saying he would never cheat on her. I told her to check his messages and urged her to dig deeper. A few days went by, and she reached back out, saying she confronted the guy. She told me he had been lying about everything, even his feelings for my sister. Then the truth came out. My sister was devastated when the guy broke up with her over text, saying he needed to focus on his family. The wife filed for divorce, and now the guy had no one to turn to. Finally, my sister realized the truth about his manipulation. I figured it was time for a family dinner, just to celebrate my sister's newfound clarity. To answer a few questions, my sister started seeing this man about 4 months ago. She was aware he was in a relationship, but initially believed he would leave his girlfriend for her. My brother and I are both in committed relationships, and we have been trying to support her through this. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.